Walking away is often seen as an act of finality, but it can be one of the most powerful moves in personal relationships. For women, stepping back from a man can profoundly impact how they are perceived and valued. It's not about playing games or creating unnecessary drama. It's about reclaiming your energy, prioritizing yourself, and setting healthy boundaries. In doing so, you send a strong, unspoken message. Your presence is a privilege, not a given. This seemingly simple act of detachment speaks volumes. It triggers a psychological shift in the minds of men, compelling them to reevaluate their feelings and intentions. Walking away creates space for curiosity, mystery, and introspection to grow. Without your constant presence, a man is left to ponder the depth of his feelings and the value you bring into his life. This space, though uncomfortable for some, is essential for fostering genuine appreciation and desire. More than that, walking away is a declaration of self-worth. It demonstrates that you are not dependent on someone else's attention for your happiness or validation. By focusing on your personal growth and passions, you radiate confidence and independence, qualities that are universally attractive. Whether it leads to a stronger connection with the man in question or paves the way for someone new, the decision to walk away is a win-win. It's not just about making someone miss you. It's about embracing your own value and creating an environment where mutual respect can flourish. Number 1. Why walking away from men instantly boosts your attractiveness. Walking away from a man can instantly elevate your attractiveness because it signals strength, confidence, and self-respect, qualities that naturally draw people in. When you decide to step back, you break free from any patterns of over-availability, sending a clear message that your time and energy are valuable. Men are wired to respond to challenges, and the act of walking away introduces a dynamic shift in the interaction, sparking curiosity and a newfound appreciation for you. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about reclaiming your power and demonstrating that you're not willing to settle for anything less than mutual respect and effort. In relationships, overgiving or being overly available can inadvertently diminish your perceived value. When you constantly prioritize someone else's needs above your own, it can lead to being taken for granted, even if unintentionally. Walking away disrupts this dynamic, giving the other person space to reflect on what you bring to the table. Absence often allows people to realize what they've been overlooking, and in the case of romantic connections, it can reignite the sense of intrigue and admiration that may have faded with familiarity. The decision to walk away also aligns with principles of self-care and personal growth. By choosing yourself, you refocus your energy on things that fulfill you, whether that's pursuing your goals, investing in your passions, or spending time with people who uplift you. This shift in focus radiates a magnetic confidence, making you more attractive not only to the man in question, but also to those around you. Walking away is a powerful boundary-setting tool that protects your emotional well-being. It communicates that you won't tolerate behavior that falls short of your standards, encouraging others to step up if they truly value your presence. In doing so, you create an environment where mutual effort and respect can thrive. This clarity benefits both parties. It either inspires the man to put in the necessary work or frees you to attract someone who genuinely values what you offer. Moreover, walking away leverages a psychological phenomenon known as scarcity. When something becomes less accessible, its perceived value increases. By removing yourself from the equation, you transform from a predictable presence into a mystery, piquing his curiosity and driving his desire to understand and reconnect with you. This isn't about manipulation. It's about creating a healthy dynamic where both parties appreciate each other's worth. The act of walking away also emphasizes your independence, a trait that is deeply attractive to men and people in general. Independence reflects a strong sense of self and shows that your happiness doesn't rely on external validation. Men, like anyone, are drawn to those who exude self-assuredness and have their own lives and interests. When you walk away, you demonstrate that you're not clinging to the relationship out of fear or insecurity. This level of detachment underscores your value and leaves a lasting impression. Additionally, walking away provides an opportunity for introspection, both for you and the man involved. For you, it's a chance to evaluate whether the relationship aligns with your needs and values. For him, it's a moment of reckoning that forces him to confront his feelings and decide whether he's willing to step up. In many cases, the absence of your presence triggers a renewed effort on his part, not because you demanded it, but because he recognizes the gap you left behind. Walking away isn't just about the man's reaction. It's a transformative experience for you. It allows you to break free from patterns of overinvestment and reclaim your emotional autonomy. By stepping back, you remind yourself that your worth isn't tied to how much you give or how someone else perceives you. This realization fosters a sense of empowerment that radiates outward, making you more attractive on a deeper level. It's important to note that walking away doesn't guarantee a specific outcome with any individual. Instead, it's about aligning with your values and embracing a mindset that prioritizes your well-being and happiness. Whether the man in question comes back or not, you've already won by choosing yourself. This mindset shift can open doors to healthier, more fulfilling connections in the future. Walking away also taps into the natural ebb and flow of relationships. Just as too much distance can weaken a bond, too much closeness can lead to complacency. By stepping back, you create a balance that allows space for the relationship to breathe and grow. This dynamic keeps the connection fresh and engaging, preventing stagnation and fostering mutual appreciation. Finally, walking away sets a powerful precedent for how you expect to be treated. It establishes that you won't settle for anything less than respect, effort, and genuine care. This self-assured stance not only boosts your attractiveness, but also paves the way for more meaningful and balanced relationships. Walking away isn't about playing games. It's about embracing your worth, fostering self-respect, and creating an environment where love and connection can truly thrive. Number 2. The psychological impact of walking away on men's desire. Walking away has a profound psychological impact on a man's desire because it disrupts the usual dynamics of attention and attachment, triggering powerful emotions and responses. When a woman chooses to step back from a man, it creates an emotional void that compels him to confront his feelings and evaluate her significance in his life. This void operates on a fundamental psychological principle, the scarcity effect. When something that was once readily available is suddenly absent, its perceived value increases dramatically. For men, this can result in an intensified focus on the woman who walked away, as they begin to appreciate her uniqueness and the space she once occupied in their lives. Walking away also activates a man's innate desire for challenge and pursuit. In relationships, familiarity and predictability can sometimes dull the initial excitement and allure. When a woman walks away, it breaks the pattern, injecting a sense of unpredictability that reignites his interest. This act subtly communicates self-respect and high standards, which are traits men find deeply attractive. It signals that she values herself enough not to chase or settle, creating an aura of intrigue that can heighten his desire to re-establish the connection. The psychological impact of walking away goes beyond just triggering desire. It also forces introspection. In the absence of her presence, a man is left to evaluate his emotions and priorities. This self-reflection often clarifies his feelings, making him more aware of how much he values her. Without the comfort of her constant attention, he may realize the depth of his attachment and desire, which might have been taken for granted before. This period of introspection can lead to a stronger sense of appreciation and a renewed commitment to the relationship. Walking away also challenges a man's ego in a subtle yet impactful way. It disrupts the unspoken dynamic where he may have assumed her loyalty and attention were guaranteed. This act of pulling back can create a sense of loss, igniting a desire to regain what was lost. Men often respond to this by re-evaluating their behavior, making efforts to reconnect, or addressing the underlying issues that may have led to the distance. Another key aspect of the psychological impact is the way walking away redefines the woman's image in a man's mind. By stepping back, she removes any perception of desperation or neediness, replacing it with an impression of independence and confidence. This shift can transform how he views her, heightening her allure and making her presence even more desirable. It's not just about what walking away does for his desire, it's about what it says about her. It communicates that she values herself enough to demand mutual respect and effort. This level of self-assuredness can profoundly affect how he perceives the relationship, often inspiring him to step up and meet her standards. Ultimately, the psychological impact of walking away lies in the balance it creates. It provides space for a man to recognize her worth and reflect on his role in the relationship. Whether it leads to reconciliation or serves as a catalyst for her personal growth, walking away is a powerful statement that reshapes the dynamics of desire and connection. You said, number 3, why men find you more attractive. When you take a step back, taking a step back can significantly enhance your attractiveness in a man's eyes because it shifts the dynamic of attention and power in the relationship. When you pull back, you create a sense of intrigue and mystery that naturally piques his interest. Men are wired to value what they have to work for, and stepping back signals that your attention and presence are not freely given but must be earned. This change in dynamics compels a man to re-evaluate his perception of you and the relationship, often leading to a heightened sense of appreciation and desire. Stepping back also communicates self-respect and independence, qualities that men find deeply appealing. It demonstrates that you have your own priorities, passions, and life beyond the relationship, making you appear confident and self-assured. This independence is attractive because it shows that you are not seeking validation or defining your worth based on his attention. Instead, you exude a sense of completeness, which challenges him to match your level of self-worth. By taking a step back, you also create a sense of scarcity, which increases your perceived value. When you are always available, your presence can become taken for granted. However, when you step away, it disrupts the pattern of constant interaction and forces him to notice your absence. This absence makes him reflect on the unique qualities you bring into his life, enhancing his appreciation for you. It's a powerful reminder that your attention is a privilege, not an entitlement. Furthermore, stepping back taps into a man's natural desire for pursuit. Men often enjoy the thrill of the chase, and when you step away, you reintroduce an element of challenge into the relationship. This challenge reignites his interest and motivates him to take action to win back your attention. It's not about playing games, but about allowing the natural dynamics of attraction to unfold. By stepping back, you also give him the space to reflect and recognize his feelings. Constant interaction can sometimes blur the lines of genuine emotions, but distance allows clarity. In your absence, he may start to miss your presence and realize how much he values you. This realization can lead to a stronger emotional connection, and a deeper sense of appreciation for you as an individual. Taking a step back is also an opportunity to prioritize yourself and your personal growth. Men are drawn to women who have a sense of purpose and fulfillment in their lives. When you focus on your own goals and passions, you radiate an energy of confidence and self-assuredness that is incredibly magnetic. This shift not only enhances your attractiveness, but also sets the tone for a more balanced and respectful dynamic in the relationship. In essence, stepping back is about reclaiming your power and showing that your value is not tied to constant attention or approval. It allows men to see you in a new light, highlighting your strength, independence, and uniqueness. This combination of qualities makes you irresistibly attractive, fostering a deeper connection built on mutual respect and genuine appreciation. Number 4. The power of silence. How walking away creates a magnetic presence. Silence is a powerful tool that can transform your presence into something magnetic and unforgettable. When you walk away and embrace silence, you send a message of strength and self-assurance that words could never convey. Silence creates mystery, and mystery is one of the most compelling aspects of attraction. In a world saturated with noise and constant communication, silence stands out, drawing attention to your actions rather than your words. By choosing silence, you allow others to fill in the gaps with their curiosity and imagination, making you unforgettable in their minds. Walking away without explanation demonstrates confidence and emotional control. It shows that you are not driven by the need to explain yourself, seek validation, or beg for attention. Instead, your silence communicates that you know your worth and are willing to prioritize your peace and boundaries over external approval. This quiet strength is incredibly attractive because it reveals that you are grounded and self-reliant. Silence also creates space for reflection, both for you and the other person. When you walk away without engaging in arguments or prolonged discussions, you remove the noise that often clouds genuine emotions. This absence of noise forces the other person to confront their feelings without distractions. It gives them time to reflect on your value and the unique role you played in their life. In many cases, this silence acts as a mirror, highlighting what they may lose by your absence. Furthermore, silence puts you in control of the narrative. When you refrain from over-explaining or justifying your actions, you maintain an air of mystery that keeps others intrigued. It shifts the focus away from seeking answers and toward observing your actions, which can be far more impactful. Your silence becomes a statement of empowerment, showing that you are not dependent on anyone's understanding to validate your choices. Walking away in silence also sets boundaries in a way that words cannot. It communicates that you will not engage in dynamics that compromise your self-respect or emotional well-being. This boundary setting is a form of self-love that not only protects you, but also commands respect from others. People are drawn to those who respect themselves because it signals a high level of emotional maturity and self-worth. Additionally, silence allows you to focus on your own growth and healing. When you step away from a situation and choose not to dwell on it verbally or mentally, you create space for personal development. This inner focus radiates outward, making you more attractive because you are channeling your energy into becoming the best version of yourself. The magnetic presence created by silence and walking away lies in its simplicity and profound impact. It allows you to maintain your dignity, exude confidence, and prioritize your inner peace. It shifts the dynamic in your favor, making you not only intriguing, but also deeply respected. Silence, when paired with self-assured action, becomes a force that speaks volumes about your character and leaves a lasting impression on those who encounter it. Number 5. How detachment leads to higher value in men's eyes. Detachment, when practiced with genuine self-awareness and confidence, can significantly increase your perceived value in the eyes of men. Detachment isn't about apathy or indifference. Rather, it's the ability to maintain emotional stability and independence, regardless of external circumstances. When you demonstrate detachment, you signal that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's approval, attention, or validation. This creates a sense of inner strength and self-sufficiency that naturally draws people toward you. Men are often attracted to women who are emotionally grounded and capable of navigating life with confidence and clarity. Detachment shows that you are not easily swayed by others' opinions or external validation, which enhances your sense of self-worth. When you aren't overly invested in seeking approval or attention, you cultivate a magnetic presence that stands apart from the crowd. Detachment also allows you to maintain boundaries and prioritize your own well-being. Men are naturally drawn to women who know their own worth and refuse to compromise their values or emotional peace for someone else. By remaining detached, you demonstrate that you are secure in yourself and don't require constant affirmation to feel complete. This creates an air of independence that is incredibly attractive. Men often admire women who are confident in their own paths, and detachment fosters that independence, showing that you're capable of thriving on your own. Moreover, detachment fosters authenticity. When you're not clinging to a specific outcome or seeking external validation, your behavior becomes more genuine. People are drawn to authenticity because it reflects confidence and self-awareness. When you are detached, your actions and emotions become aligned with your values and inner truth, creating a sense of integrity that others can sense. This authenticity builds trust and respect, which are essential components of any meaningful connection. Detachment also reduces the emotional attachment to someone else's validation or approval. When you don't depend on others to define your worth, you automatically elevate your value in their eyes. Men often respect and desire women who are confident enough to walk away from situations that don't serve their well-being. This detachment tells them that you are in control of your own happiness and won't settle for anything less than what you deserve. In turn, this inspires respect and admiration, increasing your perceived value and desirability. Additionally, detachment creates space for self-growth and personal development. By focusing on your own passions, goals, and happiness, you become a more well-rounded and attractive individual. Men are drawn to women who have a sense of purpose and direction, as it adds depth and meaning to their lives. Detachment allows you to invest in yourself, creating a life that feels full and fulfilling, rather than dependent on someone else for validation. The sense of peace and contentment that comes from detachment is magnetic. It attracts not only admiration, but also deeper connections, as men are naturally drawn to those who carry themselves with confidence and self-assuredness. In the end, detachment is not about creating distance to manipulate others, but about fostering an internal sense of peace and self-respect that naturally elevates your value in the eyes of men. Number 6. Walking away from men creates a vacuum of desire. When you walk away from someone, especially a man, it creates a psychological shift that many don't realize. Humans are naturally drawn to what they can't have or what feels distant. This is known as the vacuum of desire effect. When you remove yourself from someone's life, either physically or emotionally, you create a space that wasn't there before. Men, like everyone else, are wired to crave what they perceive as scarce or unattainable. Your absence triggers a powerful sense of curiosity and desire. They begin to wonder about you, questioning what you're doing, how you're feeling, and whether you're still available. This void forces them to confront their emotions in a way they hadn't before, and it stirs up a desire to fill the gap you've left. In the process, they start reflecting on the value you brought into their life and the connection they may have taken for granted. When you walk away, you stop being a constant presence, and this shift makes your importance more apparent. The less accessible you are, the more someone begins to appreciate what they lost. The vacuum of desire is not created by force or manipulation, but by the natural pull of scarcity. When you walk away, you're not playing games or trying to control someone. Rather, you're creating space for both you and him to evaluate the relationship honestly. Men are often drawn to mystery and the unknown. Your absence becomes a catalyst for his own self-reflection, leading to deeper contemplation of what you mean to him. The more distant you become, the more he starts to see your worth, realizing that your presence isn't something guaranteed, but something valuable. This psychological shift can lead to increased attraction, as men often desire what feels less accessible, making them more inclined to pursue what they perceive as unattainable. In essence, walking away creates a powerful vacuum of desire that draws men in, as they begin to recognize the significance of what they once took for granted. Number 7. Why men react strongly to women who take back their energy. When a woman takes back her energy and focuses on herself, it sends a clear message that she values her own worth and independence. Men are instinctively drawn to individuals who project confidence, self-respect, and a sense of purpose. When a woman withdraws her attention and energy from a man, it signals that she isn't dependent on his validation or presence. This shift in energy disrupts the dynamics of the relationship and creates a sense of uncertainty for the man. Humans are naturally attracted to what feels uncertain or unattainable, and when a woman removes herself from a man's immediate orbit, it creates a void that they feel compelled to fill. Men, particularly those who value connection, will often react strongly when they sense a woman has taken her energy back because it confronts their assumptions about the relationship. They may wonder why she's pulling away, what she's focusing on, or whether she's lost interest. This uncertainty can stir feelings of desire as men begin to question their own role in her life and what her absence means for the future. In addition, taking back your energy implies self-awareness and self-reliance, traits that men find deeply attractive. When a woman appears emotionally independent, it signals strength, resilience, and the ability to thrive without needing someone else. These qualities evoke a sense of respect and admiration. Men are drawn to women who are self-assured and who show they can stand confidently on their own. The reaction of men to this shift isn't just about missing the attention or convenience. It's about recognizing that a woman who takes back her energy embodies a deeper sense of self-worth. They become more attentive, curious, and invested because they understand that their relationship with her has to be meaningful and valuable. In essence, when a woman takes back her energy, she not only boosts her own self-attraction, but also ignites a strong emotional reaction from the men in her life, leading to renewed interest and respect. Number 8. The subtle art of self-respect that drives men. Wild self-respect is a powerful yet often subtle trait that captivates men in ways they may not even fully understand. When a woman demonstrates genuine self-respect, it radiates a quiet confidence that draws others in. Men are instinctively attracted to women who respect themselves because it signals emotional independence and a strong sense of self-worth. A woman who values her own boundaries, opinions, and time communicates that she isn't seeking external validation, which can be highly appealing. When a woman respects herself, she doesn't settle for behavior or treatment that doesn't align with her values. This means she's less likely to chase after attention or compromise her standards to win someone's approval. Instead, she walks away from situations, people, or relationships that no longer serve her or respect her worth. Men are drawn to this behavior because it reveals a deep-rooted confidence that they find both intriguing and admirable. There's something incredibly magnetic about a woman who knows her worth and doesn't need someone else to affirm it. This self-respect communicates that her value isn't tied to how others perceive her, but rather to how she perceives herself. When a woman walks into a room with a sense of self-worth, she naturally stands out, not by demanding attention, but by radiating a quiet assurance. Men notice this, and it sparks a sense of admiration and respect. They begin to see her not as someone who needs validation, but as someone who possesses her own unique value. This shift creates an irresistible allure, one that drives men wild. It's not about manipulating or playing games, but about living authentically and confidently. A woman who embodies self-respect naturally attracts men who respect her in return, fostering deeper connections built on mutual admiration and authenticity. Number 9. Why walking away makes men yearn for your presence. Walking away from someone creates a void, a space that wasn't there before, and men naturally respond to this absence in powerful ways. When a woman chooses to step back, whether physically, emotionally, or both, it forces the other person to confront the reality of her absence. Men, like anyone, tend to take things for granted when they have constant access to someone. However, when that access is removed, it disrupts their expectations and prompts them to reflect on what they once had. The absence of a woman who once engaged consistently triggers a sense of curiosity and yearning. Suddenly, they're left wondering what happened, why she's not reaching out, and what she might be doing instead. The space created by walking away forces them to acknowledge their emotional dependency on that connection. They begin to crave the presence they once took for granted. Men aren't just drawn to women who are available. They're drawn to those who are mysterious, who have their own lives, passions, and pursuits. Walking away, rather than chasing or seeking attention, signals self-sufficiency and independence, qualities that many men find incredibly attractive. It implies that the woman has choices, boundaries, and isn't dependent on their approval or attention to feel complete. This independence makes men yearn for the very connection they once dismissed or undervalued. In essence, walking away doesn't push men further away. Instead, it creates a longing, a desire to reclaim what once seemed effortlessly accessible. When a woman walks away, she doesn't just disappear. She becomes a source of intrigue, pulling men back to her without effort. The absence of her energy becomes a void that they seek to fill, creating a magnetic pull that draws them toward the very presence they once undervalued. Number 10. How walking away fosters independence and boosts attractiveness. Walking away from a relationship or connection fosters independence and boosts attractiveness in profound ways. When a woman steps back, she asserts her own worth and shows that her value isn't dependent on anyone else. Independence is one of the most attractive qualities because it signifies strength, self-sufficiency, and a sense of self-worth. Walking away communicates that a woman doesn't need external validation or constant attention to feel complete. It's not about needing anyone's approval or fearing the loss of their presence. It's about embracing her own identity and choosing to prioritize her own needs and growth. Men are naturally drawn to women who demonstrate autonomy, as it signals confidence and a strong sense of self. When a woman walks away, she signals that she values her own life, her goals, and her passions more than seeking external validation. This creates an aura of self-respect and independence that men find incredibly attractive. It's not about playing hard to get, but rather about showing that she has her own life, interests, and ambitions, which are not contingent upon a man's presence. The absence of someone who once offered constant attention or approval allows her to stand alone, empowered, and focused on her own growth. This shift naturally boosts her attractiveness, as men are drawn to those who demonstrate strength and self-assurance. When a woman walks away, she becomes a person of mystery and intrigue, someone who is capable of thriving independently. Men are naturally drawn to this energy because it contrasts with the conventional desire for attention and validation. Walking away doesn't diminish her value, it enhances it by reinforcing her sense of self, ultimately making her more desirable and captivating.